Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It happened. Ericka Kirk had a meeting with Candace Owens. But this is what I want to say. And this goes to you guys who know what I'm talking about when I say, isn't it interesting how like a day and 2 days, because it was like 2 days we covered this specific situation when Ericka Kirk started coming out. But isn't it interesting how I was saying, let's pray that they can sit down and have a discussion, especially if they are women of the faith. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. The faithful viewers know what I'm talking about. When I say, isn't it interesting? Because we literally talked about that. I said, let's pray for them to have a discussion, to sit down and come to a conclusion. And it happened. Right after we started praying for it. Prayer is powerful, brothers and sisters. That's basically what I want to say. But Candace gave a pretty detailed synopsis on what happened when talking to Ericka Kirk. Let's just go ahead and play that clip.
Conversation started with Justin Strife very sensibly saying, what are we looking to accomplish here? Like, what is the actual aim of this conversation? And he was pretty clear, and Ericka was very clear, that they were sort of most upset with what obviously a bit of a fever pitch, what I tweeted, that it was a God-forsaken company and people should not give money to it. And I have to own that. That's aggressive. That is actually aggressive in the retrospect. I was very frustrated. And I don't know, I felt like we weren't getting any answers and there were so many lies. And then I was getting attacked for asking all meaningful questions that was within their capacity to answer. And I told you, I definitely, my problem in life is that I can rise to anger very quickly. I shared with them that I really felt like I was under attack for telling the truth from the very beginning, like casually, when I mentioned the Catholicism thing. Like, what was that about? I was like, look, I say something in a tribute to him. Alex Clark and Andrew Colvett then jump onto a podcast and they're doing that weird interview, which is clearly aimed at me. And they've teased the interview as like aimed at me, but they never say my name. And that to me felt like it was the first, I don't know, the first bit of mud that was slung. Their answer for that was, hey, that was a really crazy time. A new system had to be put into place. And by no means did Ericka give any person the authority to go out and say that the Catholicism thing was a lie. It kind of turned into this big thing. Whatever. Okay, that kind of obviously was not the meat of the reason that...
The Catholicism thing was a little interesting though, CO. Because Candace made it seem like Charlie was about to become Catholic. Okay? Let's not sugarcoat that. That's what you kind of put out there, and it's so people went against it because that wasn't true. You know, I don't think people were really trying to aim at Candace or talk down on Candace as far as that specific discussion, as far as the whole Catholic thing she was talking about. Candace is Catholic. So she was talking about Charlie was on his way to become Catholic because that's close to her heart. But many different Christians looked at that like, huh? And I don't think they try to make it seem like Candace was a bad person, but just wanted to give the truth out about that because many different people at that time were following different footsteps that Charlie may have made. You understand?
We wanted to sit down. I will say I was immediately refreshed by the fact that one of the first things that Ericka did was she owned the lies, or rather, I guess they would cage it as miscommunications that were coming from various people at the company. Like, look, this is a company with 650 people that are employed. Everybody at this time is exceedingly emotional and they are communicating. And no matter what somebody says on Twitter, they assume that this communication has come down from management, and that's not always a circumstance. But they owned right away, which felt great, that if you guys recall, Ericka sat down with Glenn Beck. I actually missed this portion because I didn't get to watch the interview in its entirety, and we were pulling clips because a lot was coming out very quickly. But there was a portion that was going around that was viral, and it was Ericka saying that she had Charlie's phone and that Charlie never texted anybody the night before saying that he thought that they were going to kill him. And that obviously reflected poorly on me because I was the one who said that he did, in fact, text multiple people the night before. And then I went on Jimmy Dore on Friday, Jimmy Dore's show, and I clarified. I said, Andrew Colvett told me specifically that he was one of the people that received this text message. So I got that first person. I didn't get that from a source. I got that directly from Andrew Colvett. And then somebody who had access to Dan Flood's communications said that Dan Flood similarly received a text message. They owned that right away and explained. Ericka said that she has Charlie's phone. She's looking at his iMessages. And it turns out that he, like everybody else, communicates on Signal. He communicates on Telegram. And that those when she heard me say that, they then went and looked, and yes, that what I said was true.
Boom. Now, granted, there may be a lot of different things that Candace says that people don't like, but Candace has brought different receipts, especially when it comes to text messages. At this point, you should know not to even. If Candace says she got text messages, she got text messages. So for all y'all who were saying she lied, she's a liar, she lied about that Charlie did not text nobody the day prior, they had a full discussion. And this isn't just Candace, but guys, I'm about to be talking to you guys who are 100% Candace and you guys who are 100% Ericka. Because many of you guys owe different apologies, maybe to the public or different people you were talking to, depending on if you were 100% either one. This is why I stayed in neutral ground. This is exactly why, because of how this conversation went.
Andrew Colvett received a message the night before, and Dan Flood received a message the night before. Now, they asked me if I had actually like a concrete a copy of what Dan Flood got the night before, and I said no. If somebody told me what it said, which was almost exactly what Andrew said, which is they're going to kill me. Andrew did not know who they were, that the they that he was referring to were, but they clarified that the message that Dan Flood received said the left is going to kill me. So I can't confirm that one way or the other. I have to trust them on that because I did not see that concrete message. I was told that it said they. Now, obviously, we discussed the moment, and I'm laughing here because you TikTokers are actually out of control. You guys are going to be the reason that Israel gets TikTok, because you guys are acting a fool all the time. And the videos were so hilarious of you guys mocking the Barry Weiss interview. It's great. It's good to laugh at ourselves. And Barry Weiss is always worth laughing at. But I was sort of like, hey, I felt name checked by the podcaster, Candace Owens, this obvious setup, and then asking me to stop. And it's interesting to hear Ericka say that the reason she didn't ask me to stop in the beginning because she was actually learning things from the show.
Hold up. So everybody, all the conservatives, patriots, different individuals on the right who were completely going against Candace, telling her to shut up, Ericka was actually looking, listening, and learning. Oh my goodness. You can't make this stuff up. What is there to say after that? Like, people should be embarrassed. This is why, even from the get, I was like, Candace is doing nothing more than investigating. She wants further information on what happened to her friend being assassinated. Why are these people trying to tell her to shut up? Ericka ain't said nothing yet. Why are they? And come to find out, Ericka was learning. Oh my goodness, you can't make this.
Was actually learning things, and that I think she similarly felt that Barry Weiss was trying to create a moment. Obviously, it's who Barry Weiss is. It's the Zionist lobby. She's trying to right perceived wrongs because I'm against her side. That does not surprise me. That's kind of why Barry Weiss exists. That's the reason they put her at CBS, is because she's just committed to stacking the audience with people that are going to present the pro-Israel cause and talk about anti-Semitism and talk about like crime being on the rise. It's kind of an embarrassment, but I actually do accept that. And I should also clarify that Barry Weiss obviously picked those questions. They were not random, like I told you. It wasn't like people were coming to the mic and it was an open mic and they didn't know what they were going to get. It was all very much planned by Barry. But Ericka said that she knew the general idea, like they were going to mention me and mention the conspiracies, but she was not given that specific, the podcaster, Candace Owens, question. So I think that's fair to clear that up. Now, I did not at all recant any of my suspicions, and I understand people disagree with me about particular people at Turning Point USA. I communicated what I communicated in front of the whole world. My skin crawled after I spoke to Terrell Farnsworth, the person who took the cameras down. He lied to me several times. I explained to them, which felt good to have that direct communication, how Terrell lied multiple times, and that I did not understand why he was there that day. They echoed what he said. They defended what he said, that they were trying something new that day, that they typically live stream, which is what Terrell said. They typically live stream, and I said every college event. Well, they said, well, yeah, they live stream the events that are tour stops, but they don't live stream like the outside prove me wrong type events. And that was something that was new, and it required Terrell. And I said, even if that was all real, if that was all true, I still didn't feel good about the conversation that I had with Terrell, and I can't ignore my gut about the many little lies that he told. I thought the video he recorded was weird. I know he comes from a very powerful family. I personally do not trust him, and I obviously do not like the fact that I said, Tyler Boyer lied about this thing and came up with an excuse and said, well, Terrell was asked to take the camera down. That's the reason, he said on Twitter, because the police wanted him to take it down and secure the footage. And I said, I know that's not true. And they said, well, after all of that, after he took the cameras down, there was a police officer or Fed, whoever it was, that spoke to him and asked him to secure the footage. Well, that makes sense, but it's not a reason for why he took it down immediately. It makes sense that as you're investigating, you're going to say, who's got the footage? Let's lock it down. But it didn't make sense to me that Tyler Boyer lied about it. And I don't trust Tyler Boyer. And that is never going to change. Similarly with Rob McCoy. He makes my skin crawl. I can't explain it. I look at him and he's a bad person, and nobody can make me feel one way or the other about that. I was surprised to learn, and this kind of gets into, I guess, us not knowing the inner workings at Turning Point USA, that Rob McCoy actually does not work with Turning Point USA in any capacity whatsoever. And so him communicating as he has done, like, I'm the pastor, I'm this, I'm that, it's just not real. Like, that is not real. And we should know that that's not real. And when he says that, call him out on that separately from Turning Point USA. I was operating under the assumption that he worked for Turning Point USA. And I said,
it sounds like TPUSA needs to start calling out people as well, not just Candace. Because the way this conversation is kind of going with her and Ericka is as if TPUSA is also like with Candace in a way. To be honest, or at least Ericka is. And Ericka is the CEO and chairwoman of TPUSA. So ultimately, it's all under her. No matter what different people do in the company, that doesn't make the company, right? Like, in other words, like, my company, right? The route I'm going is what my company is about. But if an employee does something off, that doesn't mean my company is about that. The route I'm taking, the decisions I'm making as the CEO and chairman of my company is what my company is about. So it seems like Ericka is on the same stuff Candace is on. Just not fully out there in the public. I don't know. Maybe gassing us. I don't know.
If obviously that's wrong, I'm happy to correct that. But also, what were we to assume when he hit the stage at the memorial and said, I'm America's pastor, and then had the Wikipedia updated and said, well, I'm assuming he had it updated because who else would do that he started Turning Point USA Faith. So I guess, to be clear, we were just wrong about that. And I will have a lot more to say about Rob McCoy and where I believe he fits into a lot of things. So I'm not letting up on that. Now, one piece of this where I still don't understand it, and the magic bullet. Okay. Now, we all recall what happened. I casually say on the show, hey, I saw the footage. There was no blood. And honestly, when I said it, I didn't process how big of a deal that was with the 30-06. Very quickly, what happens is Andrew Colvett whips up this tweet about what happened with the bullet, and he said he wanted to address all of the discussion that was being had about the online chatter. I'm obviously paraphrasing here. He says, "I apologize. It's going to get graphic," but he spoke with the surgeon. The bullet should have gone through. The surgeon then explained that what he's typically seen on these wounds, and basically this was all a miracle. Charlie saved lives, even in death. And the internet clocked it, this miracle, the healthy bone. His bone was so healthy, and the density was so impressive. Like, this is a quote, by the way. His bone was so healthy. I want to read it. This is allegedly from a surgeon. Quote, "His bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. It should have gone through and through. It likely would have killed those standing behind him too." And we were just like, eek. That kind of was like the beginning of the WTF, right? I feel like that was kind of the beginning of it. And immediately people in the comments responded to Andrew, and he said, this individual said, "This post is so fake as it would violate HIPAA. Like, there's patient privacy. You can't just call up the surgeon." And then Andrew Colvett replies and says, "Rest assured, I would not have posted without full permission." Now, he said he spoke to the surgeon, and they confirmed that Andrew spoke to the surgeon, but that they did not know that he was going to write that tweet. They did not know that he called up the surgeon. So, like, it very much came across to be like Andrew was just flying by the seat of his pants. I don't know. Like, he was just flying dark on it. And I was like, that seems very strange to me, because why would a surgeon do that? Like, the first thing the surgeon should say is, "I can't speak to you." I don't even know, in theory, Andrew wasn't even there when Charlie died. I don't even know why the surgeon even knows this guy, actually. Maybe he hung around after, but, Andrew was not one of the people that got into the hospital or anything like that. So this is quite literally the PR guy who's calling the surgeon. And so that just seems very inappropriate for a person to do, period. And I would say it was kind of the beginning, but that was what I got from that. Now, obviously, we discussed the security. I brought up Brian Harpole, this interview with Sean Ryan, and I think we can believe Turning Point when they say that they did not approve of this. They had no idea he was going on Sean Ryan. I think that's pretty clear. I don't believe he works there anymore. So that was kind of him just getting out there and perhaps trying to rescue his own reputation. And I think that only made his reputation worse, actually, because people rightfully sensed that he wasn't telling the truth in that interview, that he was being cagey, that he was saying things that didn't make any sense. Again, you constantly have these people that believe, like Brian Harpole, that with enough performance, he can sit down and you're just going to convince people that this is real. And this is just a different time. Like I said, these TikTokers are out of control. They will check you in 4 seconds. Okay. Things that the biggest piece of this that I want to communicate, and that I did communicate to them, and I hope that they took me seriously on this, or rather that they take my strong advice on this. I said, one of the reasons why I really want to sit down is because I want to walk out of here and feel confident saying to my audience, hey, like, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, but Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. Like, that more will come out, but you can take it from me that this is what happened. I was looking to achieve that because there's been a lot of signaling from various people, some people who are experts, some people who have been involved in cases, that there's obviously going to be stuff that the public does not have access to. And so it is at least plausible that they have seen very clear footage that we've been asking for of Tyler Robinson getting up there and taking the shot. Like, they have access to UVU camera. So I was hoping to hear that. And I said that I want to hear why people feel so confident at Turning Point USA that Tyler Robinson is the guy. And at this point, they elected to call the lawyer, like, their lawyer who is involved in this case, one of the lawyers that's involved in this case. There's always a team of lawyers, especially for something like this. And what I got from the lawyer did not make me feel that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. It did not make me feel confident that he didn't or did shoot Charlie Kirk. I was very surprised by this. He spoke a very long time. I asked, can you share with me what it is? And I said, when you share this with me, I will not say what that thing is. if we want to protect the integrity of the case. I'm not going to, if you say, we've got the footage of him taking a shot, I promise I won't say that to the audience, but I will communicate to them that you have something that is solid. And no, to the exact contrary, this guy effectively said, not effectively, he said that they have nothing but the affidavit. Okay. So what we have seen is what they have. What is being discussed publicly, you are this whole non-expert problem with well, you don't know. It's what you read, his messages that don't have any dates on it, Tyler Robinson writing out everything and the clean alibi. That's what they have. And what he explained to me was that that's the affidavit stage. That's where it's at. And then what takes place now is the investigation is ongoing, right? So right now they're looking for more information. And once investigators, they could very well have obviously footage. And that is why they might feel that, we're definitely gonna get this prosecution. But the reality is they don't actually share that information with the victim. They don't share that information with Ericka. They don't, in this part of the process, they will not know what investigators have discovered. This is what the lawyer told me until May. Okay. They have not seen anything that you have not seen, is what I want you to know. So with that in mind, I'm sitting here going, why are you signaling? Why do I feel like the public's being gaslit on this? There's been nothing that's convincing. There are so many commentators who have gone out and said to you, it's overwhelming. The evidence is overwhelming. The text messages that don't have a date, that don't even sound real, that's overwhelming. That to me feels really fake and gay. I really do want to say that to every commentator that is out there trying to tell the public and insisting that if you say it enough times it'll become real. You're actually just being dishonest. And I offered that a more honest way to communicate would be to say, we think he's involved. We feel strongly. I've said that. I think he's involved. We are very hopeful that throughout this investigation, we are going to get that concrete thing. And that's where we're at right now. That's just the stage that we are at. That is not what we are getting from them. That is I just feel like that's really important to let you guys know. Let the gaslighting stop. They have what you have, okay? There is nothing else. They are in an investigative stage. Ericka has been named as the victim. They will know more in this May hearing, which is the probable cause hearing. That's what the lawyer told me. It's probable cause hearing. And that's when they will see the evidence. That's when they get to present the evidence, why they are going to stand there before a judge and be like, yes, we need to move this forward. It's not just an affidavit. We're not pulling together scraps. We have concrete evidence. Until then, okay, until we all get on the same page and understand what else they have, I am very confident stating the opposite of all of my, I guess, well-paid peers in that I don't believe that Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger.
So basically, Candace is going to continue. Because this whole thing started because she didn't believe that Tyler Robinson took the life of Charlie Kirk. And even with that long 4-hour discussion, meeting, conversation, she still does not believe. I mean, Ericka said that she had the autopsy. I feel like there could have been different things to show Candace that if they truly believe that, but I don't even think they truly believe that. Especially if they have exactly the information that the public has. How can you truly believe that Tyler did it? The reason why I like that Ericka and Candace had a conversation is because if Ericka was watching Candace and learning things, and now she's talking to her, right, directly, it's really going to go up. It's really going to go up. Like, she's talking to Candace directly, and she feels the same way, and she really wants truth on what happened to her husband. Oh. It has no fury like a woman scorned. It's going to 2 women? Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Guys, fellas, I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship, and I'm talking about the past, by the way. I'm not talking about now. But in the past, a woman who wants to find out something, a woman who wants to dig for dirt, a woman who wants to figure it out, okay? They become the greatest investigators known to man, okay? Let me tell you, I'm talking Inspector Gadgets. A woman who really wants to find out something, she's going to find it out. So when you see Candace doing all this and gathering all kind of information and investigating like the way she's doing, of course, she's a woman. Now, if Ericka joins her, oh my goodness, you can forget about it. Whoever did it, you might as well forget about it. Go move to an island, build a hut, something. Because if they join together and start really looking into it together, forget about it. It's over. It's over. Anywho, I'm glad that they talked, had a discussion. I haven't even watched the whole episode of Candace. I'm gonna finish it after I get off of here. But either way it goes, continue to, because we prayed for them to have a discussion and they had it. So prayer is powerful. It's working. And I just pray that you guys continue to pray that justice is served for Charlie and that truth is revealed. Amen. Those who come to agreement, put amen in the comments. God bless. Shalom.